Hello and welcome to Unews. I'm Carolina Sarassa and thank you for being here. And we begin today with a historic day in Washington. Ambassador Gordon Sondland testifying about what he knows about the Ukraine scandal. The ambassador dropping a bombshell during his public testimony saying, quote, "I followed the directions of the president." He told lawmakers everyone knew aid to Ukraine was conditioned under announcement of an investigation. It is by far the most damning testimony so far against the president. Lorraine Cáceres has the highlights.
Testifying today under Secretary of State for Political Affairs David Hale and Laura Cooper, the Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Russian, Ukrainian, and Eurasian Affairs, neither expected to say anything more significant than the statements made by Ambassador Sondland. Carolina, back to you.
Thank you, Lorraine, for that report. Meanwhile, a judge said she intends to rule by Monday night on whether or not former White House counsel Donald McGahn must testify under subpoena to Congress. The move, information revealed that the FBI asked last month to interview the anonymous whistleblower who filed the complaints about the president's July 25th call with Ukraine's president that ultimately led to the current House impeachment inquiry. The source says the lawyers and the FBI have been in contact regarding that request. The story we are following: new trouble for Boeing, affecting thousands of planes in service right now. Safety regulators are now recommending the company redesign a key component after a deadly incident on a Southwest flight last year. In Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh Pirates pitcher Felipe Vasquez is facing nearly 24 new counts after being arrested for sexual assault. He had his second hearing on Tuesday and was denied bond. Rafael Rodriguez had the latest on a case that has shocked the nation. When we come back after the tragic and we'll come back to Unews. A white 16-year-old high school student is in custody in Georgia after authorities accuse her of planning a racist attack to the deadly ambush of a Mormon family in Mexico. A number of homes are now empty in La Morita, Sonora, since the attack 2 weeks ago. Unews went there to see what was inside one of those empty houses. Nidia Cavazos has more details. The Trump administration is set to move forward with a new proposed rule that would send migrants who pass through 3 Central American countries on their way to seek asylum in the U.S. back to those countries. Janet Rodriguez has more. A group of physicians is alarmed that the Trump administration is denying flu vaccines to immigrants in custody. That group is urging the Department of Homeland Security to accept its offer to provide free flu shots to California detainees. The doctor's proposed new immigration rule is generating controversy. According to activists and some politicians, the rule complicates a program that benefits undocumented minors. Peggy Carranza has more from New York City. Coming out the details on the case, and welcome back to Unews. A new twist in the case of a former Boston College student accused of encouraging her boyfriend to take his own life. We're now seeing newly released text messages between the two that could have a big impact on the case. Paula Byron explains. And now to Connecticut, where police say a body that was discovered may be related to the disappearance of a missing woman. That body was found in the woods just miles from the bar where Janet Alvarez worked. Roger Borges has the latest. In Wisconsin, say a man who abducted his ex-girlfriend at gunpoint is dead. Officials say we will tell you why Colombia has decided Nicaragua. 9 mothers remain inside one of the country's most iconic churches. These mothers even launched a hunger strike a week ago, demanding the release of their children, whom they consider political prisoners. Police cut off power and water to the church and arrested activists who were helping them. Tiffany Roberts has been following this story. Tiffany, welcome to Unews. What happened to these mothers and why did this hunger strike provoke such a reaction from the government?
Hi, Carolina. Nicaragua right now is going through a really difficult time. Up to now, the Ortega government has been quite successful in squashing and repressing any kind of protest. Marches were banned and they were declared illegal last year. And every attempt that their country is mostly Catholic, talk to us about the role that the Catholic Church is playing on this crisis. Yes, Carolina. Basically, the church so far has been this role as a pacifist. Bishops, however, have been constantly publicly complaining about the lack of freedom and the lack of democracy inside the country. The Episcopal Conference, which basically is the group of bishops inside Nicaragua, they have constantly released statements denouncing and complaining of what is happening, especially these latest events from last week and yesterday. But there's little that they can do. Every once you have certain priests that are more outspoken, like in this case, Father Roman. But in a repressive state, there's nothing that they really can do about it.
And is this related to what happened last year, all those demonstrations that we saw last year?
Yes, it is. We all remember, but basically what happened is Nicaragua was dropped off the headlines. Other stories took over, but in Nicaragua, the story still keeps happening. The repression still keeps happening. Many hundreds were taken to the jail. Others fled to neighboring Costa Rica,
and especially with those mothers just asking for justice. Thank you so much for your time and for this insight into what's happening in that country. Thank you, Tiffany. And now, he spent 28 years in Mexican prisons and was on the FBI's most wanted list. But somehow, drug trafficker Rafael Caro Quintero managed to grow his fortune behind bars. Joanna Usman has more. Mexican rooftops may be just part of the solution to a range of the country's environmental issues, from pollution to the preservation of vegetation. One man leading this push is a biologist at Mexico's largest university. Claudia Zurita has more on his exciting work.
Plants not only make these green rooftops beautiful, they bring multiple environmental and social benefits. In Mexico City, Claudia Zurita, Unews.
Coming up, Wells Fargo is introducing two Mexican designers are shaking up the fashion world with a new creation. They have invented what they're calling Deserto. It's a substitute for animal leather. The vegan leather is made from cactus. Adrian Lopez Velasquez. And welcome back. An update now to a story we first told you about yesterday. A brave woman in Australia saving a koala who was injured by the wildfires. The woman wrapped the animal in her shirt and poured water on the burns to ease the pain. Well, today that woman was reunited with that koala. Azul Alvarez has more details. A camel, a donkey, and a cow are walking down the road for your time. Hasta mañana.